Hi, I'm Shayad. Welcome to Spring Boot 2 Fundamentals by Packt Publishing. I've worked with Java since its inception, working for multiple companies including Sun Microsystems, Oracle, and others. I also worked with Spring Boot for a few years on quite a few projects. I can spend a lot of time talking about me, so I'll cut it here. This course will cover the fundamentals of Spring Boot 2, including what can be accomplished with it. Our exploration of Spring Boot will include everything, such as the business logic, web services, web UI, and database. If you're new to Spring Boot, the first question might be, why Spring Boot? Why should I care? In a word, it's fun. It removes a lot of the hassle and boilerplate from Java coding. It makes Java backend code fluid and concise without trading scalability. It takes great ideas that became popular in other platforms such as Rails and provides a Java spin for these ideas. But because it's based on Spring, it has decades of highly scalable engineering under the hood. That means Spring Boot is powerful enough to run a company like Netflix. Let's move to the subjects we'll discuss in this course. We'll begin with a quick introduction to the high-level concepts of Spring and a quick overview of its core concepts. We'll also discuss Project Lombok, which helps us reduce Java's boilerplate code. We'll follow with Hello World and a deeper dive into the core ideas of Spring. This would focus on dependency injection, which is at the heart of Spring framework. Testing is probably one of the most important aspects of Spring. Its entire architecture revolves around fast, easy testing. We'll break down the different types of test methodologies and discuss test-driven development. MVC stands for Model View Controller. It's probably the most famous user interface pattern. Spring uses it for its core web front-end support. We will delve into the core ideas behind MVC as a concept and its usage within Spring. Spring supports several templating solutions. Here we'll focus on Thymeleaf, which allows us to bind business logic to the generated HTML. We'll bind this together to the MVC concepts and show how complex HTML UIs can be generated. REST APIs let us expose functionality to third-party developers, or even to our own apps. For instance, we can let a native mobile app access our server by invoking a simple server API as an HTTP request. In this part, we'll discuss JSON RESTful services and how you can expose such services. And in the final module, we'll discuss database and storage, mostly focusing on Spring Boot's support for SQL. You don't need to know too much in order to pick this up and get started. The one hard prerequisite is Java. You need to know Java. You don't need to be a master of Java, but you need to understand the basic syntax or be able to pick it up as we move along. We'll use Maven for the build system. You don't really need to know Maven, but if you worked with it in the past, it would help. We'll also use IntelliJ IDEA for the samples. You can use a different IDE such as Eclipse or NetBeans, and everything should work roughly the same. I'm very excited about this course, and I hope you'll enjoy it as well. Thanks for watching.